So we're going to tackle about the fourth part of the basic concept of strategic management. So first is strategy formulation. So what is a strategy? A corporation forms a comprehensive master plan that states how the corporation will achieve its mission and objective. It maximizes competitive advantage and minimizes competitive disadvantage. So, if you are a company, if it will be more beneficial to the company to close some of your branches, then probably you should do that as part of your strategy. Because sometimes closing some connection is rather beneficial than staying in it, and it is harming the overall operation of the company. And then there are types of strategy. The corporate strategy, there are three. The corporate strategy describes a company's overall direction in terms of its general attitude towards growth and the management of its various businesses and product lines. Corporate strategies typically fit within the three main categories of stability, growth, and retrenchment. So, when you're talking about the corporate strategy in a pyramid, this is what is on top. Okay? This is the top. And then the next is business strategy. Usually occurs at a business unit or product level, and it emphasizes improvement of the competitive position of a corporation's product or services in a specific industry or market segment served by that business unit. Business strategy may fit within the two overall categories, competitive and cooperative strategy. So these are the strategies you can use in the business strategy. So what are these? Let's just say you are a food industry. In the food industry, you are not just making one product, right? So let's just say you have chocolate A, chocolate B, and chocolate C. Your chocolate A, your corporate strategy, your corporation is on chocolate. And then for business strategy, you have three types of chocolates being served in the market. So chocolate A, let's just say, caters to market A, the elite, the rich, let's just say. And then chocolate B caters to the middle class. And then chocolate C caters to market C, D, or between middle class and poor, or the lower class. You have, for business strategy, for corporate strategy, you are on stability, growth, and retrenchment. And then for business strategy, you compete your chocolate A with chocolates on the same industry. Okay? Let's just say you compete with another chocolate industry that caters to the same market. And then chocolate B, of course, also competes and have cooperative strategies within its market. So you have different business strategy on the products you have, or on the different products you have. Okay. So that is on business strategy. Next is the functional strategy. Is the approach taken by a functional area to achieve corporate and business unit objective and strategies by maximizing resource productivity in its concern with developing and nurturing a distinctive competence to provide a company or business unit with a competitive advantage. So within that chocolate factory, and then you have different market segment, chocolate A, B, and C, the functional strategy is more on what you do on the floor in the operation of your chocolate A, of your chocolate B, and then chocolate C to create a business advantage and competitive advantage within that unit. So that is functional strategy. You start from the overall corporate strategy, and it will be breakdown into business strategy and then to functional strategy. So corporations, if they have strategies implemented in their organization, are actually doing this, because the corporate strategy is more on general strategies where you put your mission and vision. However, in your business strategy and your functional strategy, this is what specific strategy applicable to that certain business unit. And then in that certain business unit, in its functional area, what strategies is better for that certain functional area, or what functional strategy best suit that area. So now, in strategy, you have to make policies. So, policy is a broad guidance for decision making that links the formulation of strategy with its implementation. Companies use policies to make sure that employees throughout the firm makes decision and take action that supports the corporation's mission, objective, and strategy. So, broad guideline. An example of a policy is like this. Safety is our main concern. So, if I am the employee, I know that this company ensures the safety of its employees, but not only the employees, but also its clientele. And under policy is what you call rules, okay? So, policy is the broader sense, rules is more on the specific sense. So, let's go back to the example I gave. Safety is our main concern, so that's your policy. And then, the rules goes like this. Wear a hard hat in the construction site. Oh, that's more specific, right? Because the broader sense is safety is the main concern, is a policy. And to better understand that in a specific sense is to make a rule. Wear a hard hat in the construction site. Okay? It's just the same with what's going on right now during this pandemic. The government and the establishment within our city are also concerned with the safety of the people. So, just the same, the policy is safety first. But how are we going to do that? So, it's going to be breakdown into rules. That's why you have to wear your mask. That's a rule. You have to wear your mask. And sometimes your face shield too if you enter certain establishments, because you cannot transact there if you do not have this. Social distancing, and of course, you have to wash your hands or have sanitizer or alcohol wherever you go. So that is the rules. The policy, the broader sense, the rules are the specific. And then, of course, if you have the strategy for your corporate, for your business, and for your functional, you implement that strategy. So what is strategy implementation? It's a process by which strategies and policy are put into action through the development of programs, budgets, and procedures. This process might involve changes within the overall culture, structure, and or management system of the entire organization. The implementation of strategy is typically conducted by middle and lower level managers, with review by the top management. So strategy implementation often involves day-to-day decision in resource allocation. So strategy implementation in the business level, and of course in the because they are done usually by middle and lower level managers. So in the business section, in the month of December, we need to produce or increase the production of chocolates because it's already Christmas season. And then in your functional level, what strategy best suited? So, in a day-to-day operation and day-to-day decision making, today we can only produce this much because some of our machineries are doing something. We need to clean this up, blah, 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 blah. So this is now on involves the day-to-day decisions of resource allocation. Okay? I think you're doing, even if you're not a corporation, you're actually doing strategy implementation. You have your overall, let's just say, corporate strategy for yourself. And then Your business is like, your corporate strategy is how you're going to graduate in the specific degrees you choose. And then your business strategy is what strategy is applied to the certain subjects that you have. Because you cannot put or use the same strategy to different subjects, right? So that is now your business strategy. And on the functional strategy implementation that you're going to do is on a daily basis, what am I supposed to do in this type of subject? For PE, what functional strategy decision I have to do today or for the next week? So that is strategy implementation. And you have to have policy for each and rules for each. Like, I should not be late for this. I should have calculator for this. So the rules is, your rule for yourself in your implementation of your strategy is to have specific things or stuff that you should have in order for your strategy implementation to be successful. And also, you cannot just put everything down, right? You have to create a program. So what is a program? A program is a statement of the activities or steps needed to accomplish a single-use plan. It makes a strategy action-oriented. It may involve restructuring the corporation, changing the company's internal culture, or beginning a new research or effort. So an example program provided here is BMW. Their program is to achieve its objective of increasing production efficiency by 5% each year. So how are they going to do this? You're familiar with program, I believe. The program we are doing when we have activities in the cultural center in our school are actually like this. So shorten new model development from 60 to 30 months, reduce reproduction time from a year or to no more than 5 months, build at least 2 vehicles in each plant so that production can shift among models depending upon demand. So this is how they do their program. As you can see, there's a flow, a single-use plan. If you can also relate this to the program we're having every time we have activities in school, wherein there is a detailed on what will happen next. It's the concept actually is just the same in program. So I hope you understand that. And of course, if you have already the strategy, you have your corporate, functional, you have already your policies, rules, and you want to implement it, you already have the program, and if you want to implement it, you need to have a budget. Strategic management and changing your strategy and strategy implementation needs to have budget. So budget is a statement of a corporation's programs in terms of currency. A budget lists the details cost for each program. You have a program, you have the list of each program, budget for each program. A corporation's demand a certain percentage return on investment, often called a hurdle rate. Before management will approve a new program, this ensures that the new program will significantly add to the corporation's profit performance and thus build shareholder value. The budget thus not only serves as a detailed plan of the new strategy in action, it also specifies through pro forma financial statement the expected impact on the firm's financial future. So if you have a budget, why is it the company approve your strategy and your implementations of your plan? Because the company knows that after implementation of this, they will get something out of it. It will improve their shareholders' value. It will add to the profit of the business. So that's why budget is also important. And of course, the budget should be detailed, and it can also be like pro forma for future financial statement and what are the expectations on how or what the company can get if it is already done. And of course, the budget, within the program, you have also procedures. So Procedures, sometimes termed standard operating procedures, are a system of sequential steps or technique that describe the detail how a particular task or job is to be done. They typically detail the various activities that must be carried out in order to complete the corporation's program. So, whatever the corporation is doing, they have procedures for it or the SOPs for it. Okay? So, what are, for instance, what are the SOP or the standard operating procedure if a rabid dog is trying to run after you? As a human reaction, almost always we run, right? We run for our lives because we don't want to be beaten by the rabid dog. So technically, the same with just like the organization, they also have standard operating procedures. If within the process of creating product or providing service, they should not go away of what is the procedure, because their standard operating procedures are also part of their quality assurance and quality system on how they make their products or how they provide service. So it is a step-by-step process or a sequential steps and techniques that describe how their task is being done. And also, the standard operating procedures can make life easier because you already know the flow of the system or the flow of the things that you should do in order to achieve something. Okay? So now we're going to, you have already implemented your strategies, right? And then after, you have already your budget, your program, and then the sequence of it, the procedures of it. So how are you going to know if your strategy was successful or it was beneficial in the future? What are you going to do? Of course, what you're going to do is you do evaluation and control. So what is evaluation and control? This is a process in which corporate activities and performance results are monitored so that actual performance can be compared with desired performance. Managers at all levels use the resulting information to take corrective actions and resolve problems. Although evaluation and control is the final major element of strategic management, it can also pinpoint weaknesses in the previously implemented strategic plan and thus stimulate the entire process to begin again. So, check and balance. Sometimes you have tried joining an activity, a seminar, and then before the activity or seminar or lecture started, you are given a pre-test. And after the activity is done, you're also given a post-test. So, to see if the actual performance is compared to the desired performance is met. So, before anything else, that's why we're also having quizzes and exams, so that it is actually part of evaluation and control, so that we as your instructors knows if you get something out of it, or what we are doing, talking and telling you that this is what evaluation, this is what strategy, you learn from it and hopefully applied it in your lives and in the future in your job. So we evaluate it to know, and if there's something wrong within the evaluation we do or the things that we do, we may make corrective action. Oh, the strategy in teaching that we're doing is not really good, or we have to improve or attend seminars and other lectures so that we can improve how we're teaching. It works like that. So that is evaluation and control. And of course, performance. How you're going to, the performance is the result of the activities. How did it perform? How does the strategy perform? It includes the actual outcomes of the strategic management process. The practice of strategic management is justified in terms of its ability to improve an organization's performance, typically measured in terms of profits and return on investment. So, how does the company work? How does the company perform? it will be weighed or measured in terms of profits and return in investment. So you as a student, how are you going to measure the performance that you have? Of course, the scores that you have in quizzes, and if this degree is done, this subject is done, the grades that you're going to get. So that is how it is being measured. And of course, you don't want to repeat the subject, right? So you have to really perform and apply the necessary strategy in order to get what you really want, what you desired as a grade. Or if this is a business, what percentage of profit you are aiming based on the strategy you use for that certain product that you are producing or services that you are catering to the public. So that is na on strategy implementation, this type of strategy, its implementation, and of course, its evaluation and control, and knowing how companies measure their output and their performance. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna be back for the last part, the fifth part of strategic management. That is for now. Have a good day.